Allow me to be the first to welcome you here to Bard College. It says here that it appears you're the first member of your tribe to go on to higher schooling.
Yeah, I'm really excited to be here. I can't wait to be a Raptor. I'm gonna rage all over the other teams.
Sports are great and all, but here at Bard College, we are serious about our academic and performing arts. Have you given any thoughts as to what college you would be looking to join?
Well, my people respect valor and combat above all other things.
Well, I think I'm going to put you down for the College of Glamour. I think we can expect some enthralling performances from you, young man.
I'm not so sure that's going to be a very strong choice for someone of the Skull Crusher tribe.
Then let us discuss your options here at Bard College with the flavors of rage for the Bard.
Welcome to Nerdarchy. For nerds, by nerds, I'm Nerdarchy Dave. As always, I'm hanging out with this nerd.
Nerdarchy Ted.
Maybe this is your first time joining us in Ted's basement. We'd like to talk about and discuss news, views, and homebrews for 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. Sometimes we even talk about other role-playing games.
So if you don't want to miss a single video, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button and attune to that notification bell.
We're going to dive back into our flavors of rage. This time we're going to be talking about the 5e Bard for D&D and how we can mix and match with the Barbarian character class.
If you haven't seen the other ones, this is a video where we talk about, what you can do while raging. Because, while you can't cast spells, there are a lot of crossover abilities with classes, and we think Bard's got some good ones that line up.
Yeah, the core abilities of the Bard is going to be spellcasting and Bardic Inspiration. Spellcasting, as we've discussed in a previous video, does not mix and mingle so good with being a barbarian while you're raging, but there are definitely spells you can cast prior to rage and then have them going off. But also, Bardic Inspiration is a great thing that you can use even while raging.
Yeah, so we're going to look at the specific subclass abilities that, certain bards get and how they're going to mix up with raging.
Right, exactly. We're going to start with the College of Glamour Bard.
So the first thing that they're going to get is the Mantle of Inspiration. And while outside of combat, you can do some fun things with it. We're specifically here looking at what you can do that's combat apply.
Now, this ability is driven by your Bardic Inspiration, so not a problem there. What it does is a bonus action, you expend Inspiration, and it's a buff for your allies. It gives them temporary hit points as well as allows them to move as a reaction.
So really helpful. And, when you're talking about, jockeying for a position, or sometimes, you just need to get more movement to be able to get in there, definitely helpful.
Or get out of there, as the case may be. So enthralling performance is another ability they get at 3rd level, basically as soon as you get the archetype. This one's not really going to matter or be relevant because even for the Bard, you're not going to be using it in combat. It's an out-of-combat ability.
It takes a minute, for it to work. So unless you plan on, having someone beat on you while you rage through your performance, not really going to qualify.
Absolutely. So next, we're going to move on to the 6th level ability. Mantle of Majesty is an awesome ability, but it allows you to cast Command as a bonus action, which is a spell, which is a huge no-no for Barbarians and Rage.
So 14th level, we get Unbreakable Majesty. Now, in order to do this, you're only doing 6 levels of Barbarian and 14 levels of Bard. But you can take on, this majestic appearance, and you are so awesome that people need to make a charisma save just to attack you.
Yeah, so if you want to incorporate a little bit of Barbarian into a lot of Bard, this combination might work for you. You might even take less than 6 levels of Barbarian, depending how you want to do it. But really, it's only the 1/3 level ability and the 14th level ability that you're going to be able to incorporate while you rage. So your options are kind of limited here.
Absolutely.
So next up, we have College of Lore. But before we jump into that, we'd like to pass a little bit of lore on to you, the Nerdarchy fan. If you want to support us and look good while you do it, head over to the merchandise store. We have a Spreadshirt store, Nerdarchy, the store, merchandise. You can check out hats and shirts, hoodies, all kinds of cool things over there, even coffee mugs.
Help support the channel by, showing off, the awesome logo that we have to all your friends and family.
There will be a link in the description to check that out.
All right, so we're going to dive into College of Lore. What are we getting here, Dave?
Okay, College of Lore, one thing you're going to get is cutting words as part of your Bardic Inspiration. And it's almost like you're using Bardic Inspiration offensively because of the reaction. You expend it, and you can give all kinds of penalties to your enemies.
So when they're attacking, when they're damaging, you've got to be able to shave off numbers and either take less damage or possibly turn, hits into misses.
Chances are, as a barbarian, you're not going to be using your reaction for a lot of other things unless those attacks and opportunities come up. So this would be a great way to use it. So 6th level magical secrets.
All right. Well, while we might be able to select some cool spells, it's not going to necessarily apply to our barbarian unless we're going to specifically take spells that are not concentration, that are off the bard list.
Yeah, that's where you're going to shine here, and that is going after the spells you're going to be able to cast before your rage will be going on while you're raging, and you'll be able to benefit from them. The Keystone ability, 14th level, Peerless Skill.
I mean, this is really great. You get to be really awesome at something, but again, this is a non-combat, ability. This is where you're, not really using skills in combat. So unless you're taking something like athletics and you want to get into grappling, really don't think this is going to apply here.
Well, I think, it's an opportunity to really shine if you want to be a grappler, because you can take expertise in grappling from being a bard. You could use Peerless Skill to get even better at it. So you might want to double down and just become the ultimate grappler, because you're going to have advantage because you're raging anyway. So in very specific ways, you can stack this with your rage. Outside of rage, you're going to be able to use it as well. If skills do come up in combat, then it's there if you need it.
I have a hard time seeing, I've devoted 14 levels to Bard. I'm a performer. I can do all of this stuff, but I'm the athlete. It's a stretch.
Next up, College of Swords. I feel like this one actually stacks the best with Barbarian.
I mean, there's a lot of great abilities. Where do we start off?
All right, well, first off, you're going to get some proficiencies with armor and weapons. Chuck those. They're not what I was talking about when I said it's going to stack really well. But at 3rd level, you do get to choose a fighting style. That's something a barbarian doesn't get. You're going to either get duelist or 2-weapon fighting.
Very helpful, very useful for a barbarian who, as you said, does not get a fighting style. So here's your first dip. Nice.
Next up, we have our blade flourishes. This is going to be the hallmark. This is the main meat of College of Swords Bard. There's some great abilities. They're designed for combat. They're based off your inspiration dice, so you're going to always use them. They have ones that make you more offensive, more defensive, or more mobile on the battlefield. They also offer up some control aspects. So I think these are great for a barbarian.
Being more mobile on the battlefield, definitely something that barbarians enjoy. Being able to do more damage, definitely something that barbarians enjoy. And, doing things that make you get hit less or take less damage are also things that barbarians enjoy. So that is an amazing crossover.
Yes, you're correct. So 6th level for us is going to be kind of a bust. It's extra attack. Unless we're only taking 4 levels of barbarian, it's not going to be super useful. We're not going to get to take advantage of that. But moving on to the 14th level ability, which is amazing.
All right, so 14th level, we're going to get Master's Flourish.
Master's Flourish is amazing because basically it lets you tap all those blade flourishes. You only get to use a die 6, but doesn't use your inspiration. So in theory, you can use it all the time. Or if you're out of inspiration, you just drop down to using those. You're still going to benefit. Who is going to cry about adding a die 6 to their armor class every round and a die 6 to their damage as well?
That is pretty phenomenal if you ask me. So I definitely see, you can go, 4 and 14 and, still have 2 more levels to put wherever you want.
Yeah, that would definitely work. So with that, we're going to move on to our next college, and that is the College of
Whispers. So College of Whispers, we start off, getting Psychic Blades.
Psychic Blades is an amazing ability that allows you to trade your inspiration for extra D6s of damage, and how many you trade just depends on your level as a bard. So it's pretty sweet. You can use it while you're raging. You hit somebody with your greatsword and then be like, yeah, it takes some psychic damage as well.
So this is really great in my opinion, when barbarians, even if you go totem, you don't have resistance to psychic damage. So in that tribal war, bam, College of Whispers is what you need.
Now, I will say this one is a very kind of an odd combination, because the College of Whispers definitely has that kind of like evil advisor, worm tongue from Lord of the Rings feel to it. Mixing it with Barbarian, you're going to have to be a little creative there to figure out the role play on it.
Thematically, these things are, diametric opposites, if you ask me.
Yeah, but I think with a little work, you can make it work. So next up, we have Words of Terror.
This is if you talk to someone for a minute, you can get into their head. This is really not something that's going to apply. I mean, unless you're somehow whispering to somebody during combat, it's not going to work.
Which you can anyway. So, but that being said, even the bard can't do this when in combat anyway. Right. So it doesn't really affect the ability. It's just not, you're just not going to get that synergy with rage or being a barbarian.
Mantle of Whispers is the next ability. And this is if if a humanoid dies within 30 feet of you, you can kind of like steal their shadow and be able to adopt their persona.
Yeah, it lasts an hour. You're going to be able to do it. You're going to take it in combat. You're going to have it in your back pocket. So when you're done raging, so really it doesn't hinder or help Barbarian as far as raging. But after the combat's over, you might find a use for it.
Yeah. So if you happen to wanted to gank somebody on a dark street, this is definitely where that goes. And a Barbarian's going to be a little bit better at that.
So next up, the capstone ability for the College of Whispers Bard is going to be Shadow Lore.
This ability allows you to, whisper on the battlefield or, wherever, and only one person can hear you. They have to make a saving throw or become charmed by you. So this could be something that, doesn't say that you're casting a spell. So to me, it sounds like you can do it while you're raging.
You could absolutely do it while you're raging. The biggest problem here is you're not taking attacks. You're going to have to take damage or find another way to sustain your rage while you're trying to do this. Now, obviously, there are other colleges from the Bard character class, but those are the ones that we feel like have any kind of synergy whatsoever. And of those, College of Lore and College of Swords are the only two that I would personally consider playing. Both of them will work great for maxing out to 14th level.
I think, if you went with, College of Whispers, I really think, only dipping in to get that psychic damage, is where I would wind up stopping. I just don't think the other abilities really apply. And you really have to stretch the theme on that one.
That's absolutely true. I will say the only thing with the College of Whispers is the more levels you have, the more of that psychic damage you're going to get.
Yeah, I understand. But, I mean, again, it's already a stretch to, try to mix those two. But I like the ability.
The question is, folks, what are you mixing with your Barbarian? Have you played a Barbarian before in your games? If you do, tell us all about it in the comments. I also want to invite you to join the Nerdarchy Adventuring Party over on Patreon. Ted, what can they expect over there?
We're creating awesome products for 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons every month for both players and DMs alike.
But that's not all, Ted. Every month, patrons are automatically entered into our giveaways.
But wait, we're not through yet. We're also doing live hangouts with our patrons every week.
Quest down to the description below where you can find a link to our Patreon. Become a member of our adventuring party. And until next time,
stay nerdy.